Welcome in to the USL Pro Weekend Preview. My name's Nicholas Murray, very pleased to be joined by Chris Economides. And Chris, three really interesting games on the USL Pro schedule this weekend, starting off with Saturday night's game that sees the Harrisburg City Islanders hosting the Richmond Kickers. Now, Richmond's making the northeast swing. They're playing in Rochester on Friday night before they head to Harrisburg, but Richmond's undefeated right now. Harrisburg lost 3 of their last 4. They've stumbled a little bit of late. What are we expecting to see out of what will be a match that pits the second and third place teams in USL Pro against one another?
I think this has the makings of the most fascinating matchup of the weekend, to be honest with you. Richmond, we keep waiting for them to sort of stub their toe on this mammoth road swing. They're doing phenomenally well, going into Orlando City, getting a result there. Going into Dayton, that's always a very tough venue to play in, getting a result there. And then Harrisburg, again, struggling a little bit. They've been besieged by injuries. They've lost, as you mentioned, 3 of their last 4 games. So, again, this has all the makings, and this is a second of a back-to-back for Richmond after going into a Rochester who's going to need essentially a must-win there. So, fascinating matchup.
Interesting wrinkle as well as far as the Kickers are concerned. They announced today the signing of 2 players from their academy program. They'll still retain their college eligibility, but congratulations to Evan and Vaughn Fowler for being the first players in USL Pro history to sign under the new USL Pro Academy rules. It'll be interesting to see if they might get a few minutes here or there, especially with the back-to-back games. Also on Saturday night, we have a big game in North Carolina as the Wilmington Hammerheads visit the Charlotte Eagles. Wilmington looking to keep their momentum up after last week's dramatic win against Harrisburg. Charlotte, they're in a position where they might be in contention for a top 3 place if they can keep their form going. How do you see this one playing out?
Again, another intriguing matchup, Nicholas, here. Wilmington, what I thought was a season-saving last-minute tally by Cody Arnaud last week. Great finish, huge win in stoppage time against Harrisburg. Charlotte, again, hats off to Mark Steffens and the entire team there. Going into Dayton, going into Rochester, getting 4 of a possible 6 points on a really tough road trip there. They can solidify their hold on an upper echelon playoff spot. Wilmington needs to cash in and win the game so they can qualify for the playoffs. Fascinating matchup.
Now, Sunday night, we go to Dayton, and we see Orlando City coming in. They took a very important win last night against the Charleston Battery. Now they hit the road for 2 games. Dayton had a little bit of a wobble. They, as you mentioned, they lost to Richmond last week. They lost in midweek against the Columbus Crew Reserves. They'll be wanting to get back on home turf and get back in the win column, solidify their playoff position.
Orlando, again, a little bit of a minor tweak, to their run to the USL Pro regular season championship here. The strong get stronger. You lose a Dom Dwyer, you bring in a CJ Sapong. I mean, what else can you say? It's
got to be nice.
It's going to be scary to see a player of that caliber who obviously is having some struggles this year come back down to Orlando, find his confidence. I think he's a phenomenal player. He's going to help Orlando dramatically to get out of their little minor funk that they had.
Well, Dayton, they're a team that has played Orlando well in past seasons. They took a 2-2 draw against the Lions at home last season, so I think this Sunday evening game certainly a must-see as far as what these 2 teams have to offer.
Yeah, I think this is really a turning point in Dayton season here. So far they've done phenomenally well. Patrick Ball, the head coach, has done a tremendous job. They have lost a couple of home games lately now, plus the loss in Columbus for the reserves the other night. So I think this is sort of going to set the tone for the balance of their season. Huge, huge game for both teams.
Well, you can see all 3 of these games and the rest of the USL Pro schedule on USL Nation this weekend. We hope you join us for that. We hope you enjoy all the action either at the stadiums or online. But for Chris, my name's Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.